Here we go, Homelite. This is one of the ones that we picked up. It's still hot. But went to use it. We took it out to the guy I worked for on the side. We took it out to his house to give the trusty old Walmart trimmers, the Hipa Toughs, give them a break. So we took this one and a couple other ones out. This one starting to act like it's got some carburetor issues. It was running great, and once it got warmed up and started cranking on it, kept wanting to bog. See if I can get it start back up. Issue was the only way you could get it to run was to keep the choke on. So see if I can get it to start back up. It doesn't even want to start now. It barely started before. There we go. Choke halfway, and it'll kind of run. It was running a little bit better than that just a minute ago, but the choke was still, you had to keep it halfway, and it was just idling super fast. And but it was running, so my guess is carburetor adjustment. There's really not a whole lot it can be on these because they're really basic. So either my guess is a carburetor issue, probably just needs adjustment, or it could be a fuel filter could be having an issue. But we'll dig into it and see what we get here. We get a couple tools and we'll get started on it. Alright, fuel filter appears to be good. Tried it out, just pluck it out of there, pull it off the line. Seems like you can blow right through it. So it shouldn't be it. Drops back down in straight. So, next step is going to be popping the top off the carb. This thing's still cooking. Oh yeah, sizzling. Get the pressure out of it. Okay. A little bit of a mess. I know our fuel filter is good, so I'm going to attempt to do, screw it up. Let's check the screen. These are screws. So if you look at the part of your carb, I don't know if I can get you guys in there good enough, but I'll try. See what I can do anyway. At least that way you know what I'm talking about. Okay, if I can get it up here for you without losing anything. So, oh, I can't see myself. If you look, right here is your screen. So what you want to do is make sure there's no debris in there. If it gets debris in it, it settles down, and it's just like dust, it'll clog that screen up. Then you end up with starving your trimmer for fuel. Back there here, and so it just makes it like it's running out of gas. Back the cap off, and you should be able to get rid of the pressure that's on it, hopefully. It's the only thing I currently got out here with these. But you really don't want to go poking around. I just want to see if I can get anything to move. The screen looks good. From what I can tell. The screen looks alright. So we should be getting the fuel that the trimmer is requiring. Yeah, it leaves carburetor wise, it could be the diaphragm on the inside that, you know, goes up and down to push the fuel through the carburetor. So maybe we're having an issue there, which is a possibility. So it could just be needing a carb rebuild, which almost wouldn't surprise me, I guess. This thing's not terribly old. It's 2017, so it's not like it's terribly old, but it's hard to tell how it was used before we got it, how long it had been setting before we got it, you know, those kind of things. There could be a restriction in the exhaust, which we can definitely check. But get this back together. So we shouldn't be having a fuel issue. It should be getting plenty of fuel unless the diaphragm has an issue. It could be real hard, or it could be starting to get hard where it's not fluctuating correctly. The needle may not be setting, seating correctly. So we get some stuff together and we'll rip it apart, and we'll check the exhaust real quick, make sure there's no restrictions there. I honestly don't think there will be, but we'll check anyway. Alright, we got our kit from Hipa. Usual kit comes with, this one is like as basic as you get. This one is just the carb, spark plug, fuel filter, primer. It did actually come with two extra primers, but I don't know what to do with the other one, and a gasket. This one was 17, I think. There was a kit I was showing you in this video before I ordered this one. It was $17.99. I think it was $17.99. Anyway, it was like everything, but this one was, I think this one was a couple dollars cheaper. But same brand, it's Hipa. I mean, it's the one I prefer if I can find it, if they have it for what I'm working on. Sometimes they don't, if it's too old. And this one, it's the one I called for, so hopefully it'll work out. It's a lot like the other thing I forgot about was the carburetor that happens to be on this was actually off of a Ryobi that I've done some work on a while back. We done a carb swap. I forgot all about that until I was ordering the carburetor for this one. So the carburetor that's on it is actually off of a Ryobi, which it's all pretty much the same stuff anyway. But just so you know, I forgot all about that. That sucks because I tried tuning this carburetor to work on this one and was having issues. So once I get it back on that Ryobi, I'll have to adjust it to work back on the Ryobi. I forgot all about that. But so we'll get her apart here real quick. The good thing is, if you go back, the when we first got this Homelite, it needed, I can't remember what all it did need actually. I know it needed fuel lines, so we did put fuel lines in it, fuel filter on it, and the carburetor didn't want to work with us, so I swapped that Ryobi on it, going off the Ryobi just to see what we had running wise. So hopefully this one will be right out of the box and ready to rock and roll, I'm hoping. Yep, there's our gasket. Okay, hopefully this line's, hopefully it'll just pop right off for us. I'm hoping. Oh, they want our gasket. Stick it out of the way. There we go. Yeah, that one's being stubborn. See if we can get it started. I'm trying not to rip it. There we go. Cool bet. So this one, I'll have to get back on that Ryobi at some point, retune it, and go from there with it. So, gasket wise, let's see if this one will match up. Yeah. I don't know, I can try it. You can see the difference. This is the one that was on it, how it's round. This one's more squared off. Everything kind of matches up, so I'll try it just out of curiosity. If something doesn't seem to work right, I'll just swap them back out. No big deal. But a lot of these, you know, they obviously interchange with each other, so. And we'll have to see on our new one. Yep, holes at top. So, what did I do with the gasket? Here we go. So everything lines up good, like it should. Come on, big boy, get up out of there. That dog underneath the camera. Go on. And where are we at here? Okay, so what you want to check is when you rip them apart. So I always tell everybody, you know, if you're not familiar with how the lines go, take a picture of it. So I'm just going to do is, I think the outside one was our primer. Yeah. So on this one, the outside line right here, this is our primer line. This is our main fuel line. So your return line for your primer goes right there. Here's our main fuel line. Get it on there. We'll hook up our throttle cable. Get our bolts started. Get them on there. Carb in place. I did drain the majority of the fuel out of here so we didn't have no issues. Somehow I have a fly down here and it is driving me nuts. Okay, so we got it going through to hold our gasket in place. There we go. We'll get them snug down. Make sure our throttle cable and everything is going to work right. Everything's looking good. So far, so good. It's odd though, because I got the other, I'll show you the original carburetor. I got it sitting right here somewhere. It's just a touch different than this one. Different, but yet the same. Some ways, I reckon. But I'll show you. Yeah, it's like a little tight right there. Okay. Yep, so throttle cable is working. Got our choke levers going. Now, what did I do with it? I believe it was this gray one. I'd have to go back and look, but yeah. I already scavenged parts off of it for something else, but it was this gray one. It was the one that had the, about positive, it was the one that had the gray lever for the choke. So what's different is kind of like the one that's off the Ryobi. It's real similar to the one I just put on. You can see how the mechanism is here on the back. And once it goes, it locks until you hit the throttle. Then it unlocks. The original one is a touch different, so I don't know if this is actually going to work. But you know, once your choke's on, it's on. You take it off, you take it off. So that's the difference between the two, because the one I just put on is really similar to the one off the Ryobi. So I'm hoping we don't have issues with it. But according to them, that's what it called for, and it wouldn't be the first time. You can see there how I got it. Kick the choke on so the choke is fully closed, but you can manually open and close it. But on the inside, nothing's going to happen. If you listen, you can hear it click. So that's the difference between the two. So hopefully that won't be a problem. Technically it shouldn't, but that's pretty much it. So the one I'm wanting to make sure of is this cover still fits. Maybe that arm looks a little on the close side. So we get our filter in there. I didn't opt for new filters. There's nothing wrong with this one. Yeah, it's close, but it fit. So there we go. It's that easy. 2 screws, 2 fuel lines, gasket. You're ready to rock and roll. So the only thing left is to get, it's got some fuel in it. I don't know if it's enough to start it, but let's see. Well, it might. I don't know. I'll top it off and then we'll take it out. See what we got. So hopefully it runs like it should. I can't remember. I'll check. Let's see if... Yeah, it don't look like too old of a plug, so hopefully I already put a new plug in it, so I'll just save that one. Alright, so the next thing to do, we'll top the tank and then take it out, see if it's going to trim some grass. I still got that high grass where that last video where I had that old curve shaft Craftsman, so that grass is still there, so we'll get it fired up and see what kind of work we can get out of it, and I'll catch you then.
It's recording.
Alright. It's priming up like it should. I just have my doubts. Better move, kitty. Alright, see what we get. Well, you don't want to go to that angle.
For real though. Stupid cat.
We having Chinese. Alright. Let's hit it. See, I don't know. Just trying. What do you think?
I don't know.
Yep, there we go. There we go. Hipa carb right out of the box. Took it a minute, get the fuel going through it. Didn't even have to adjust it. At least as of yet, it seems like the idle might be able to turn it up just a touch, not much at all. But there you go. It's a Hipa carb kit, and I'll put the model number in the description in case anybody's curious. But it was, I think it was. I have to go back and double check. I know the first kit I was showing you guys, I'm pretty sure it was $17.99. This one, because I got it with less came with the kit, so I think it knocked like $3 off. But that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, guys. This thing seems to be running pretty good now. But if you go back, there's a video I done of a comparison when we first got this Homelite, when I put the fuel lines and everything on it, that shows you how much these are identical to the Walmart Hyper Tough trimmer. And you'd be really be surprised. It just goes to, if you watch that video, the comparison, it'll show you that you're just buying, on a lot of these, you do your research before you buy one, because you're just buying a brand name. So a lot of people would buy this one over the other one just because it says Homelite. But thanks for watching. Appreciate it. You all have a good afternoon.